All right, get ready for some football.
Yes.
Tuesday night football in Music City. After 2 full weeks of COVID-19 positive tests for the Titans, they will play the Bills tonight at Nissan Stadium.
News Channel 5 sports anchor Steve Layman has followed this entire saga from the beginning and joins us now. Steve, with so many twists and turns in this story, it seemed like we weren't even going to be able to play the game. What happened to allow it to go on for tonight?
Yeah, Meryl, I am certainly ready for some football. I can guarantee you that after everything we've gone through the last couple of weeks following the Tennessee Titans. And it seemed improbable. First, you had the Steelers game pushed from last Sunday all the way into week 7. And it seemed unlikely that this game would get played when it had to get moved off of Sunday because of more positive tests in the middle part of last week. But no Titans player has now tested positive since Thursday. They just had one staffer test positive over the weekend. Contact tracing showed that he had no direct contacts in that time, so everybody else around has been cleared. The team was able to get back into the building on Saturday, and they've been there for roughly 2.5 days to get about 2 practices in and a walkthrough. That's not a ton of time to prepare for a game, but it's enough to get the Titans back on the field for the first time since that win in Minnesota, September the 27th.
24 positive tests among the players and the staff here over the last couple of weeks. What does this mean for the Titans and the team? Will they be shorthanded tonight?
Leland, they most certainly will be shorthanded tonight. The question is just how shorthanded. You mentioned the 24 tests. That was split between players and coaches. At one point, the Titans had 14 players on the COVID-19 reserve list, but already 4 of those guys have come off the list, including defensive captain Daquan Jones, long snapper Bo Brinkley. So a few guys have already come back. We'll be watching the COVID transaction wire this afternoon at about 3 o'clock. There may be a couple other guys who trickle off who will be able to play. But as it stands right now, the Titans will be without about 10 guys. 6 or 7 of those are regulars in the lineup, plus a couple of coaches when they take the field tonight.
So let's talk about investigations here. And I guess first up, I guess you want to ask them about the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, what's it going to take for us to beat the 4-0 Bills tonight?
Well, it's going to take their best effort. That is for sure, Meryl. This is a Bills team that is unbeaten this year. It's one of the highest scoring offenses in the league behind quarterback Josh Allen, who's playing like an MVP candidate right now. They still have the vaunted defense that they've had over the last couple of years, but maybe not quite as good. Kind of a similar story to what we've seen so far defensively from the Titans. Again, Tennessee's going to be shorthanded, but here's the thing we've heard from these guys over the last couple of days when we have had the chance to speak with them. They don't like the perception around the NFL that they somehow screwed up here, that they somehow are at fault for this outbreak of a microscopic virus that is very, very contagious. And we've seen that not just in Nashville or Tennessee or around the U.S., but around the globe over the last several months. They think they've been unfairly castigated as cheaters or rule breakers at this point. And so I think you're going to see an inspired team that is going to rally together, that wants to come out and kind of set a point tonight. Now, whether they're going to have enough bodies to match up against an unbeaten team and win, we'll see. But I think you're going to see an inspired effort from the Titans, especially with a few fans in the stands for the first time this year.
A lot of talk out there, too, about the investigation from the NFL into the Titans. What's likely to happen there?
We will wait and see, Leland. That is the big question. And several of those people around the league who have thrown those names out of the Titans have asked for significant punishment, whether that be fines or suspensions, loss of draft picks. And some people have even mentioned forfeit. That seems like that's off the table now that the Titans are back on the field and the Steelers game has been moved. But certainly some people want to see drastic things. Here's the thing, though. We don't actually know if there were any rules broken. Again, this is a contagious virus that things have to have happen. It seems clear that the Titans got together away from the facility, certain players, after the facility was shut down last week. We reported that first a week ago. Whether the NFL believes that that was a clear violation of their directive, we will ultimately find out. But in terms of how it started or how it's really spread, Whether any actual rules were truly broken, we don't particularly know yet, and it's going to be the NFL's investigation that comes down on that will ultimately determine what, if any, punishment there will be.
And we know you'll be on top of it. Thanks so much, Steve. It's always great to have you with us.
You bet, guys. Look forward to it. See you.
All right, don't forget you can watch the game tonight at 6 right here on News Channel 5.